Afraid of love or rejection stops many would-be lovers. Chapter 1. Afraid of love or like being alone, a free slob, etc. Afraid of love info 1. You must harvest desires at just the right moment, heart at just the right age. Pindar, early Greek poet. Many people sabotage potential relationships because they don't really want to be in love. In my opinion, it's usually pragmatic reasons like they want to be free, don't have much money, don't want to change their slobbish selves, or don't want to reveal their true pathetic, trivial selves to another. Some people have no serious intention to stay with it, they just want to lead the other person along for a bit for their ego, then bail before it gets too deep. If you're a girl or guy with someone who constantly backs off, you have to analyze them seriously once and for all to see if they can change to feel comfortable, because plain and simple, a large segment of the population simply can't be in any type of relationship for very long. Many people have a lot welling up inside that's not necessarily part of the relationship at hand. You may have been an abused/neglected child, may have been sexually assaulted by someone, may have been burned in love before, may have been rejected in love before, and the list goes on. I see several big reasons why people build walls around themselves to stop people from coming in. They were hurt by other people in the past, and the pain is still so fresh in their minds that they're unwilling to open up all the way, be vulnerable, let someone come in lest they get hurt again, so they choose to stay safe and protected in their own little shell. Afraid to open up because you're not all you're cracked up to be, and you think your partner might see that you're just an average person. Some people, quite simply, just can't open up and have a real, intimate relationship with another person. They have to be alone, a safe distance from everybody. Some people have mental problems like depression or anxiety which prevent them from opening up. Fear of loss of personal identity. Some people don't want to be loved because they have to love back. They could be just scared or lazy, since love takes work. Some people are narcissistic. They can't love anyone but themselves, so they go around and play games with people. They lead them on for a while to build their egos up, then when it gets too real, they split. Worried about making it in the world. All of these types of people often try to sabotage the relationship in many different ways, some subtle, some direct, i.e. fights, sarcasm, etc. Man wants love, but at the same time he pulls away because he's always been taught to stand on his own, therefore, in his mind, he fears a loss of identity and freedom. It makes for a tough time for him, something he may never truly resolve within himself, to let a woman love him completely and to love her back the same way. There are other forms of self-sabotage, like a personality trait, you're born with it, or, once again, you could have been brought up that way. What I'm talking about is something like sex role stereotypes. A woman is supposed to be loving and live for love, hence, she develops a neuroses about love and romance, feeling inadequate unless she's in a relationship. She becomes paranoid about rejection and sabotages herself long before the man even has a chance to possibly reject her. Men, on the other hand, fear becoming too close or too dependent on a woman. It goes against their macho upbringing, so they might do all kinds of weird things to assure themselves that they haven't been domesticated by women, like hunting, going out drinking with the boys, purposely, accidentally neglecting her in order to justify in their own minds that they're still the lone wolf, self-made, stand tall kinda guy they were indoctrinated to be by movie characters like Daniel Boone and Rambo. These are all little games people play. Think about them and you will see that there's a grain of truth there, all of us playing these caricature roles to satisfy our fragile egos. Afraid of love info 2. Many of us, especially women, set ourselves up for the fall by falling victim to society's messages about romantic love. Love stories on TV, magazine articles, romance novels give a lot of women these naive, unrealistic ideas about being swept off their feet like Cinderella by a Prince Charming. You're conditioned to see men as a symbol of power and seek to find a mate that symbolizes this in some way, in effect, surrendering your own potential for the role of emotional dependent. Act all gushy, cute, and vulnerable, you're taught, and you will get your man and everything will be alright. It's self-sabotage in a subtle form. Take responsibility for your own life first and foremost. Men have it hard too, always expected to achieve, be strong and go after the girl. It's good to a point, but it teaches men to act controlling and manipulative. I say just be natural and be yourself. I gave up the phony, conquest stuff and just try to be nice and friendly with all people that I meet anywhere. Many men don't realize the true secret to getting a woman. You treat her like a lady and she will let you know when she wants you to get closer. For the girls, the first thing you have to do is get rid of those unrealistic expectations about perfect men like in the romance novels. This is the real world. You should strive to be independent and more stronger within yourself. Men like self-sufficient women who have strong characters as long as they don't cross the line into aggression and bitterness. If you act like a lady, you're setting yourself up for men to treat you that way. It's true. If you act like you expect a man to treat you like a lady, he will get the hint in time and treat you like that unless he's a moron. Another big form of self-sabotage is the woman or man who wants the bad boy or bad girl to fill some lusty, foreboding need within themselves or simply to rebel against society. It may be fun for a while, but you know you're setting yourself up for the fall because you don't take it seriously to start with. It's fine to be adventurous, but don't go crazy. The scorned woman and scorned man alike could subconsciously seek revenge on the one they're currently with based on the bad experiences from past relationships, even though the love interest treats her nice and had nothing to do with that negative past, i.e., a girl angry because her father abandoned the family, so she subconsciously uses and teases all men. Somehow, true love has twangs of a loss of manliness to the man which he must overcome to truly be able to love his woman. He may fear becoming too sensitive, therefore a sissified wimp, i.e., the domesticated man. During my 20s, I had a very schizophrenic time with the idea of letting a woman love me and giving myself completely over to her. I wanted to, but when it got right down to it, I couldn't. It was my restless spirit. I felt that I didn't want to hurt these few beautiful ladies I fell in love with, so I simply sabotaged the relationships before they got too deep, and I would have ended up hopelessly in love. I knew my destiny was to explore my life freely for at least 10 years, which is what I did, and I ain't got it all out of my system yet. The future was an unpainted canvas back then. I had no idea of what I was gonna do except for this longing to go out into the world and live away from my hometown. I knew if I ended up married with kids, working a job day to day to pay the bills, I'd be miserable and divorced within a few years regardless of how great these ladies were, and they were great. It had nothing to do with them. It was me and my need for my own personal space, unfettered and free. Love is not everything to everyone at any point in life. It may change, but sometimes other things take precedence, especially for men. At that time, there was no way I could have handled love because I had a yearning to go out, see the world and make my own way come hell or high water. I didn't want to hurt anyone in the process. It kind of reminds of that scene in the Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life, where Jimmy Stewart's there with the girl saying he wants to see the world, he's got places to go, things to do, etc. Only that when he looks at her, he can't resist, ends up married with kids working as a banker who feels like a loser. You must know yourself in matters of the heart. There are always clear, rational reasons why you are uncomfortable or shy away from a true, open love affair. Nothing is etched in stone. Just because you're afraid of love today doesn't mean you won't be willing to love someone fully tomorrow. It's always Socrates' old rule, know thyself. If you aren't ready or don't feel it, don't do it. It's timing too. Sooner or later, most life explorers realize that love beats adventure and move on to explore that frontier. Jimmy Stewart was 41 years old when he got married, but it was a marriage that lasted a lifetime, so don't despair, it's never too late. Analyze yourself. Understand why you're afraid of love and work on it. When you're ready, go for it. When you meet the right one, be yourself, don't be afraid to love them and tell them all about it. If the woman loves the man, she should keep working to chip away at this frail, exterior armor, because more than likely, there's a gentle, softy inside underneath it all. Men invariably prefer to show love through action, whether passionate action in the bedroom or action like taking her out for a nice day in a country, building a nice garden in the yard or buying something nice for her. So what I'm saying here for the ladies is not to get too anxious about getting the man to open up emotionally and spilling his guts about his life story. Expect a reasonable dialogue about life but move on from there. Accept talk about pragmatic things and be satisfied if he shows his love rather than blurbs it out in flowery prose. In the final analysis, think about your life and see if you can expose some reason why you're running away from love. Recognize it, understand it, express it by thinking it through, writing it down, crying, talking it out and otherwise exorcising it. You don't have to forgive any of those schmucks who might have made your life miserable, but you should accept it and let it go, then forget about it. Accept yourself for who you are. You must believe that you're alright just being the way you are, with or without a lover or mate. Being afraid of romantic love is not something to be ashamed of because it's a big deal. A new relationship would be a big change to your life. Many people are afraid to love because they are afraid of getting hurt. A new relationship is a risk. Afraid of love websites. Answerology.com, afraid to fall in love. busymoms.com/relationship advice/afraid-of-love.html. country-couples.co.uk/dating tips/afraid-of-relationships-or-love. ehow.com, afraid to love. ehow.com, how to date someone who's afraid of commitment. lovepanky.com/love-couch/broken-heart/limerence-fear-of-rejection-in-love, afraid of rejection in love. marieclaire.com/sex-love/men/fear-of-commitment-relationship. positivelypresent.com/2010/02/letting-others-love-you.html, how to stop being afraid of love. psychologytoday.com, fear of real intimacy. psychologytoday.com/blog/maybe-it's-just-me/2010-what-does-it-mean-be-afraid-love. queendom.com/advices/advice.htm?advice=94, don't want to run away from love anymore. wikihow.com/stop-being-afraid-of-romantic-relationships, how to stop being afraid of romantic relationships. Chapter 2. Rejection rejects people to romance. Rejection doesn't have to turn you off to love. I didn't get turned off to love when I was rejected after flirting with girls and asking them out as a young guy because I realized it wasn't me, it was them. These girls came around and started flirting with me, so I assumed the logical progression was to ask them out, which I did, and they said no. After this happened several times, I started to realize that a lot of young girls under 25, which includes all college undergrads, are insecure and playing around with their newly emerging sexuality to boost their egos and try to learn about life. I thought to myself, why come around flirting with me if you don't expect me to ask you out? These were girls in college that I barely knew. I simply learned that there are a lot of screwed up chicks out there, so the way it is now that unless I get definite signals from a girl, I won't ask her out. Even if I get the signals, I'm still aware she could be an insecure chick playing some game, seeing how many guys she can get coming onto her. Don't take rejection personally. Put it on the other person for missing their chance with you. Be like I was as a young guy, thinking there's always another chick around the corner. I still think that way. I'm not as idealistic as I used to be about soulmate love. Any good-looking girl with an uncomplicated manner will suit me fine. The psychobablists would call me a narcissist, but to me, I'm fine. If you reject me, too bad for you, I'm a great guy. I can give more intensity than anyone. You missed your chance, bitch. I'll still be happy tonight. Rejection junkies. Rejection junkies are usually women, but some men are like this. They generally don't think highly of themselves. They're insecure. They're constantly wondering when their husband or boyfriend is going to get tired of them and leave them because they see themselves as any or all of the following qualities: boring, dull, unaccomplished, ugly, fat, poor lover. Because they're often worried about being rejected by their lover sooner or later, they internalize this rejection process and help it along by putting up a wall to intimacy. They think they're protecting themselves from the hurt they expect to feel when their lover leaves them, but they don't understand that they're helping to cause a breakup by acting as though they're getting ready to be dumped. Rather than just trying to be as loving as they can with all their imperfections, they're so phobic about being rejected that they subconsciously push their lover away, such that his natural inclination is to conclude that she's weird and not worth it, and they leave. Why do girls flirt then reject you? The bottom line is that if a girl is sincerely romantically interested in you, she will let you know by her mannerisms and body language. The problem with this is that a lot of young, insecure, and bitchy girls flirt with guys for all kinds of reasons other than love. One reason is for their ego. They like to get guys all hot and bothered, then when the guy asks them out, they say they're not interested and quietly laugh on the inside for sucking this guy in. It's a big ego boost to them. Some girls go out with guys they feel nothing for, mostly to learn about guys, to use them, get money and stuff off them, and possibly network into meeting other, better guys. There are some girls around who are always looking for a bigger wallet. They will stay with you or any guy until they hook a guy with a bigger wallet, then they're gone. My rule is that unless it's a mutual soulmate connection right up front and the both of you know it, never assume anything or take liberties with anyone you're talking to. The exception to this is when alcohol and drugs are flowing. When a girl is half in the bag and smiles at you, if you move in to kiss her, chances are she'll go for it. Other than that, I don't care how friendly someone is, especially if she's under 25 years old. Young, insecure girls like to play with their newly emerging sexuality. They'll talk to guys, act all interested, then cut them off. There's no rhyme nor reason to this except for ego. It's the ego of an insecure, young person. Don't ask a girl out who seems interested in you until she makes a definite move that leaves no doubt. Be nice and friendly, but don't ask her out unless you don't mind being rejected. Wait a while. Be friendly. If she continues to be friendly to you, then you could ask her out. Does she take the initiative and touch you here and there while she talks to you? Does she stick around you even if her friends are going elsewhere? Does she invite you to do something with her? It could be as innocuous as saying she's in a play and asking you to go down and check it out. If a girl says something like this to you, quickly counter with something like, "Will you go out for a drink with me after?" If she talks about ex-lovers and sex, that's a hint that she is interested in you. If she makes sexy jokes about your great butt or something, call her bluff. Ask her if she wants to see it naked. Does she freshen her mouth with gum, a spray, or a breath mint while she's talking to you? She might be wanting you to kiss her. Does she get close to you, within that 18-inch buffer zone we all have? Girls who are interested get inside this 18-inch barrier and want to look straight in your eyes. Sharing food is a pretty intimate act. If she offers you some food, there's a good chance she's interested in you. Does she check your body out and smile at you? I've had girls smile at me, then when I asked them out they said no, so I'm telling you there's no rhyme nor reason to reading a girl's true motivation behind her flirting behavior. You can take it one of two ways. If a girl rejects you, so what? It's her problem. She gave you the signals then snubbed you. That was wrong of her. She's messed up somehow. The other way to take it is you won't score unless you shoot. Don't take rejection personally. Keep asking girls out who seem interested in you. It's the only way you're ever gonna score. Rejection in online dating. Most people know that a troll is someone spreading hate online for fun. This can happen to anyone online and on online dating. A spurned lover accuses a guy of being a crazy ex-boyfriend who robbed her, etc. There are even websites now that warn women about crazy guys. Don'tDateHimGirl.com has a secret forum. The guy or girl could be innocent. It could be a hater. If you sent someone naked pictures of yourself and you break up, those photos could end up online to embarrass you. Rejection websites. wikihow.com/handle-rejection. swamilove.com/rejection. ehow.com/how_22181887_accept-rejection-love-reasoning.html. simpleromance.com/articles/dealing-with-rejection.htm. vanguardcinema.com/romanceandrejection/romanceandrejection.html, discussion of a movie. kariyayoga.com/english/on_your_wings/rejection.htm.